Before we get started, a quick correction. I do not have another perianal hematoma. This one is actually just a good old-fashioned regular hemorrhoid.
This episode is brought to you by our patron supporters. Today's patron of the day is Project Night Shift. Patrons get the show always ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/calltheline, patreon.com/calltheline.
Promise, are you going to have time to be at the bonus show today? I just realized we don't know.
Probably not.
What's your timeline?
That's the surprise, is if I'll be there or not.
You can finally tell the Kata story.
True, I will if I'm there. Finally.
Finally.
Wow.
All right, well, we should probably make this piece of shit.
There's so much poop talk already.
Oh, welcome, everybody. That's for Promise's sake. She loves those.
Oh, man, I missed you guys.
Aww,
We miss you
it's
so
June
much.
27th, 2025, if people have forgotten what year it is. Look, I straight up do sometimes. I forget the year.
I keep thinking it's 2026. I don't know why.
Wishful thinking, because then the midterms would be upon us, and maybe we could do something about this nonsense orange emperor. I'm Jimmy Snow.
I'm
Alyssa.
Promise Backlund.
We've
lost our touch.
Yeah,
I think we used to have it sorted. Who was supposed to go second?
I don't remember. Maybe Promise.
I think me, and I hesitated, and Alyssa stepped in because she loves me, and I fucked it up. But
We've also
Hi,
done this
everybody,
80
I'm back.
times since the last time you were here.
I was about to say, you guys just started the show, and there was no conversation ahead of time about who's going to read what, and I was like, oh, wow. They're so organized, and they're so much cooler than me now. And
we're also, in other ways, less organized.
Promise, the way that this show, compared to when we started, is off the rails. Like, remember how we used to have like a very specific outline?
Structure.
Girl.
do you guys not use outlines anymore?
No. We
Not really.
This is so exciting.
let the wind take us wherever it needs to go. And many times we're like halfway, we're like 30 minutes through an episode. I'm like, and should we talk about the news?
Should we get to it? I find the did you see thing works pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I think also a part of it is because the news is so depressing that I think
so bad.
It's helpful to just like have a little Tina Aguilera before we get into everything that's horrible.
Totally.
You see that lady who was playing tennis, the two couples who were playing tennis, and the lady gets hit by the tennis ball and then freaks out at the other guy because she's like, thinks that the guy who hit the ball at her hit her on purpose, when it's literally like, no, that's what your racket is for, bud. You're supposed to hit it back. She like gets hit by the tennis ball, not like right against the net or anything. They're both like at the lines. The first, whatever that first set of line is, and she's literally and like throws her racket at him because he hit her with the ball.
That's stupid.
You guys see that?
No, I did not.
I did not see this. So I have to admit that I have not been paying attention to most things other than the worst possible headlines. I see it and then I'm like, I can't handle this today. So
we'll get to the worst possible headlines.
That's why you look so healthy and refreshed.
Except, you know what has happened to me? Have you guys talked about this on air yet? Have you even heard of them? I know Alyssa has. Laboos.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that is.
Goddamn Laboos.
Okay, we have to talk about
Is it related
Laboos.
to titties in some way? It sounds like it's related to titties in some way.
It's unfortunately not, and here's the problem with Laboos. So Laboos are these little, they're by Pop Mart, I think is what it's called, and you open them in blind boxes. They're like these little creatures that are from, I believe, a comic or a book or something like that. And they're this little character. It's actually a Nordic character, but it's, I believe, maybe it's a Korean comic.
I'm not sure.
Anyways, I saw these guys earlier this year. Somebody was like posting their little Labubu that they got. And I was like, this is so stupid. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And a few weeks ago, I kept seeing everybody's looking for Labubus and trying to buy Labubus. I'm like, I'm so annoyed with the world right now. Like, people are dying. Why do we care about Labubus? Last week, something happened to me. Like, all of a sudden, something came over me, and I was like, I need a Labubu. Like,
she's breaking out. It's that Swedish internet. Your outhouse Wi-Fi is failing.
To
close your other tabs.
Wait, your Wait, you're
Mine
coming
are
back.
closed.
You're coming back.
And what's funny is it
I'm
probably
what?
won't be broken out on the actual episode because it's recording
So we
separately
just
for
seem like
her.
we're freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying? Something about
Yeah, wait. So something
how
happened
this is how
to
white
you.
people are actually oppressed?
Okay, no, something happened to you.
Something happened to me a couple weeks ago, and I was just like,
Laboo.
I need a Laboo. Like, I need a Laboo so badly. And like, this is my new goal in life. I still don't have a Laboo. I'm in the middle of the forest in Finland. I'm not getting a Laboo. But
Yeah.
now all my TikToks that come up are either just like the worst possible news stuff, or it's this like little
Or
Laboo song
Laboo.
that's just like Laboo, Laboo. And it's I have played that
I
TikTok
wish
so
I
many
hadn't
times
just
now.
Googled it. Now you just told
Yeah,
me it's
now you
basically
know.
going to be in my algorithm.
Yuka started calling me Laboo. That's how often these videos come up when I'm around him. He's like, "How's Laboo today?" Which is kind
Improvement
of
in
cute.
nicknames for you, though.
Really
But then
cute.
it's also just not, yeah, Jimmy.
That's
Anyways,
really
that's my
funny.
Laboo story. So I fell for whatever bullshit that is.
That's really funny.
Did you know that your audio and video are no longer in sync? I don't know whether or not that's going to be the case on the actual thing, but
That's not good.
you should try toggling your
your.
camera on and off at the bottom. See if that helps.
Okay,
Let's find out.
hold on.
Okay, wait. While you do that, I need to tell you guys about a new discovery that I have, which is obviously we know about manifestation boards. Separate from the woo-woo of it all, I think they're helpful to like keep you on track for your goals. Like you keep your goals in literal sight, and I think it just helps you like stay motivated to achieve them. However, if you have really bad imposter syndrome, it doesn't really matter what you put on the manifestation board because at some point you look at it and you're like, and who cares? Because I can't do that. So what I've done, this actually was an idea born out of a masterclass that I that I watched. And it was Kris Jenner talking about branding, personal branding. And that bitch knows how to make a personal brand. So I was like, I'm sad. I will listen. And she was saying that like when she feels imposter syndrome, she thinks about things that they felt like were really hard and impossible and then achieved. So I was like, okay, this is what we have to do. We need a manifestation board. And then we also need a board that is all of the things that you've done that you didn't think you could do. The challenging things that you've done, like put those all together. And then you need a third board. And my mental health is holding on by a string of Wellbutrin and three boards. And the third board is one that's like people whose careers you really admire. So you kind of have a blueprint of like the kind of career that you're trying to build and the life that you're trying to build based on like little bits and pieces of all of these other people. You have the I can do hard things board, and then you have your manifestation board. We have 3 boards, and I made them my background on my phone.
My the person whose career I admire, I would literally only have Nick Offerman on there.
That's so fair.
I'm like, he literally plays parts so that he can afford crazier woodworking things.
Yeah, no, that's
he
you.
woodworks.
That's
He's got
you.
like the
That's
greatest
you,
wood shop.
basically.
And then I do want to see, there's this new movie. And speaking of movies, we have a thing to kind of announce. But there's this movie coming out, I think it's on July 11th with him called Sovereign, where he plays a sovereign citizen.
Oh.
And
Wow.
it's funny. I watch so many sovereign citizen. I'm like simultaneously like, oh my God, some of you guys shut the fuck up.
Like the
But
little clips,
also-
like the cop footage.
Yeah. Or like
that's
the
my
police
favorite.
audit people too. Those
Yeah.
aren't quite sovereign citizens, but they're kind of like libertarians often in the same thing. And some of those I like very much. So like to tell you the truth, I'm like, so it's funny how I've come around on, it used to be if I saw those people, I'm like, oh my God, people do anything for views. Like, wow, you're such a cringe guy. And now I'm like, you know what? If we are going to troll anybody and antagonize anybody for clicks, I'm good with it being cops. I'm good with it being the police and the ones who will go out there and will basically like prove that these cops don't know the basic policies of when they're allowed to ask for ID and stuff. Some of those I actually have some affection for if I didn't know they were probably also at January 6th. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he's like the full sovereign citizen one. And those are the ones where the people are like making up laws almost like, oh, I'm actually not driving, I'm traveling and you are not allowed to
my
restrict me to
favorite.
travel. Yeah, those guys.
They're
Those,
so
the guys who get
pedantic.
tased.
It's kind of brilliant. Like some of the stuff they say, I'm like, this is so annoying and clever, and I love it. Like,
Yeah.
In another life, I am a sovereign citizen.
They're the worst people, but it's usually like, bro, we get it. You want cocaine. It's for cocaine. You're trying to do drugs and you're trying to not be bugged doing drugs. Which,
is that really why?
Nah, it's one of the reasons.
Okay.
Wait,
I'm so homeschooled that I just believe it. I just believe everybody's on drugs but me is what I assume because that's what I was told growing up. So
it's just you can't decide just because I was born here doesn't mean you have, dominion over me kind of stuff.
Honestly, that's me in my comment section right now when people are like, well, you don't live in this country anymore then if you don't like Christian nationalism. I'm like, I don't, fucker. I'm in Finland right now.
That's not what I would be saying back, though. I feel like that actually tells them they're right and they're not.
I know, but also it's true. So,
the country was built on the opposite ideal. And the whole thing is they should get out. Because they're like, if you don't like America, get out. I'm like, well, if you don't like a country and where changes are actually like, the idea of changing and updating for the times is actually like written into the Constitution.
Then you don't leave. Like America and you should get out.
Yeah. I totally agree, but it does when I'm like I already don't live there, so then they have nothing else to turn to, and I'm still complaining and I'm still voting. So
right,
yeah.
What are you gonna do about it? Okay, can I ask a question, or were you about to go into something?
Well, I was gonna say with the movie thing, we're gonna start doing. All right, so if you're a patron over at patreon.com/calltheline, on Monday, we're going to pick a movie on Monday's show. We're going to pick a movie based on suggestions y'all give. Now, listen, if it's dumb suggestions or if it's just straight up porn or troll things, even if they get the most likes, we're just going to ignore it.
You have no
we're not
faith
taking away all of our agency.
Patrons.
I've met them, okay?
I know it's like because of experience, but also...
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? I feel like they've been proving your cynicism wrong because they've all been very nice so far.
Oh, that's just the people who actually are leaving comments now, but we're giving an opportunity to troll. And I'm just saying, the trolls. Anyway, we'd like movies that you feel are culturally relevant. Or like last week, I was telling Alyssa how much she needs to watch Adolescence, which we would take a mini series as well. It can't be a long series, but Adolescence, really, really good.
Alyssa, you should watch it.
I know.
It's crazy.
I'm just so nervous it's going to bum me out.
It is going to bum you out.
It's going to bum you out so much.
But it's good and informative and good for what we do.
I know.
Anyway, it's real good. And you'll be very impressed by the filmography of it all. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we're going to pick one. We'll watch it. And then probably on either that subsequent Thursday or maybe the next week, our bonus show will actually be us talking about that movie. And so we'll be doing that for maybe once a week, the bonus shows. And then once a week, the bonus shows will probably be like the more normal stuff.
Like
but just have something to do. And then I think what we do is once a month, we pick, or it might not be quite as often as once a month, or maybe we invite some other people in, but we pick amongst the movies we watched. Maybe we get a couple other people from the line to also watch it. And then we do like a little Zoom with like patrons or a live stream where they can live chat or something. We could do.
That's very cute.
We're upgrading what we're doing over there at the Patreon is what I'm saying. So patreon.com/calltheline if y'all want to do that shit.
Since we don't know how my schedule will be and when I'll get to come on the podcast and stuff, what will be funny is sometimes I can still join the bonus show. Yeah. And let's not tell people if I won't even tell you guys if I've actually seen the movie or not. And we'll see how well I can do in the conversation acting as though I've seen the movie. What's going to be embarrassing is that you guys are going to be like, you definitely didn't watch it. And it's like, I just watched it last night.
Oh my God. I can't wait. This is great. I love this.
We'll probably do those bonus shows where we do the movie review thing. We'll probably put that as a separate. We'll still have it be the long episode, but then also an individual episode on Patreon where like it can be where you don't have to watch the whole thing before. That way, other patrons who aren't listening to the podcast can get just that kind of thing. I don't like how much my sleeve is popping out. It makes me feel like I already know I have lanky arms, but I feel it accentuates my lankiness.
I wasn't looking until you said
anything. Welcome to my life. All of my t-shirts are just like sticks. You're like 5 days older than me.
It's more than 5 days, but the point being that I've been lanky my whole ass life. Even when I was fat, I was still lanky. It was wild. My arms and legs did not put on weight, just my torso. Like a little bit of weight, but not much.
That reminds me of like when you see how the way like kids draw children or kids draw adults and it's like a round circle or like an oval and then just like sticks.
Yeah.
You guys.
That's
one
my
time,
body.
The kids I was nannying like showed me a picture that one of them drew for me of me. They're like, this is you. And it's like a head and arms. And then it's just like a W, like a scoop, a W, and then another W, and then another W under. And I was like, wow,
I thought you had teats.
What is this?
Boobs. What?
I was a mermaid, and those were my mermaid scales.
Thank God.
They're teats.
Thank God. That's so insane. Kids are so crazy.
Really insane.
Promise, you were going to ask a question. Do you remember what the question was?
Yeah, my question, because when you were talking about like the manifestation board, I was just looking at Jimmy's face because I want to ask Jimmy, how much does the word manifest upset you?
Trigger me a lot.
Yeah.
Because I dated a law of attraction girl.
I think I should call it like inspiration board, more like that feels more aligned with what I'm trying to communicate and accomplish.
I dated a law of attraction girl who like also believed in these conspiracies about how like they don't want you to know about the law of attraction. They tried to kill Tila Tequila because she was getting her life on board with that and like living gluten and
her
free.
Her best evidence was Tila Tequila. We couldn't
she
find
literally
a
invoked Tila Tequila.
better example
Did
of
you
the
think
law
Tila
of attraction?
Tequila would ever come up in this podcast if she didn't die? Like, of course we would cover the news if Tila died, but no, she's alive.
Oh, okay.
She's alive. I'm saying it's weird that we're talking about. No. She was like, yeah, and she was like telling people about it, and they were coming for her because people didn't want to know that that's like the secret to success.
I need to just say, there are so many people who are like famous and notable who will say law of attraction manifestation stuff. They'll attribute it to that. The fact that she chose Tila Tequila is fucking insane.
We're talking like
she like a Nazi
20,
now too?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We're talking 2011.
Literally at any point in Tila Tequila's existence publicly, it's a bad example.
What is Tila? Wait, Tila Tequila's a Nazi now?
Yes.
I have not seen a thing about.
I think she actually called herself a Nazi.
Yes,
I think she's like
Nazi,
saluting like full.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I put it into a Reddit, and it seems to want me to look at other Tila Tequila things.
I'm sure the
Tila
fuck
Tequila
it
rides a Sibian. Okay, bookmark for later, but that's not what I'm looking for right now.
Focus
up. Are we sure though?
Lock in.
Let's see. Red Scare Pod. What is that? I don't. Oh, she's just like shitting on Britney Spears because she thinks she looks better than her at the same age. I don't know. Let me type in Tila Tequila Nazi and see what I can find. Hey, did you guys see the picture of that guy with his pinky toe that's like turned inward so it looks like an opposable thumb?
I saw that on Reddit this morning.
Isn't that wild?
What are both of you
Here's the thing, promise.
looking at that makes you see
Reddit.
these things?
You go to Reddit and you just sort by popular.
One thing about me and Jimmy, our asses are on Reddit. And we see the freakiest shit. More Jimmy than me.
I was a Reddit person, but we're talking 10 years ago. And
Reddit's probably all I really use.
It made my health anxiety so bad that I was like, I can't do this anymore.
That's for the best.
Well, okay, so I have a separate Reddit account that is anonymous, that is just for if I want to go check out the like people with intestines boards and stuff. That is totally separate from my, and then I have two other accounts. I have my news, but also, if it's like what I would look at daily, where it's like anything from news to comic book stuff to titties could be on that feed. And then I have the one that I could pull up on stream that has no NSFW stuff on it. I have three Reddit accounts, and people only know about two. One of them's a secret because I talk about my poops.
Okay.
As though I've kept that secret.
I was about to say, is that the secret? Why is that the secret one?
Even Threads, the last time I was on Threads was, I guess, yesterday to post something, but I only go on Threads now to post and then I bail. I get the fuck out of there. Did you see my post from our...
You used to be my fellow threader.
No, well, they stopped paying me to do it, so...
They never paid me to do it.
That bonus program kind of like
so
ended.
hard.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Did you see my post from the other day, Alyssa, from our show the other day?
No.
Go to Threads. It's titled "Perfect Alpha Male Posture." It's us
scared.
from.
Oh, I saw
it's
that
me
one.
from
That one was funny.
Oh,
that made me giggle. That's when I was like, man, I want to go be on the podcast again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have fun.
I miss that alpha male energy.
Yeah.
And then I shared somebody talking about how Cuomo is definitely not going to win, and or Cuomo will win. They're going to be far leftists will fake shock tonight when Cuomo wins. And I just wrote aged like Trump.
Yeah.
Because the joke is like aged like milk, and Trump aged shittier than milk ages. Anyway, nobody got it. He only got like 9 likes. I guess then we'll kick off the news with that. And then at some point we'll take a little break. Or I mean, we should take one soon. Maybe we should do that after when we get back from the break.
Okay.
We will talk about Andrew Cuomo conceding, even though the race isn't technically over because of ranked choice voting. We'll explain a little bit how that works why am I doing this without the fucking music going?
I don't know. I was wondering that also. And this music is
Just wasted so much of your radio
It's 39
talk voice.
seconds, and I'm like, Andrew Cuomo concedes the New York City Democrat.
All right. Good.
I've been doing a lot of goofy impressions lately. I don't know why.
Wow.
What did
I have to censor that.
Okay, so I'm
I have
not
to
the
censor
only
it.
one
No,
who's
don't
doxing
confirm
on this.
anything. Don't confirm, because I'm just going to censor the word
Okay.
during the thing.
You should also put like a little thing over your mouth so people can't read your.
I think I suck on my microphone. I don't know if I have to. We'll be right back.
Would you like to be one of the cool people who can prove they were supporting this podcast right from the beginning? Well, you can. Head over to linemerch.com. That's linemerch.com and pick up some founders merch for The Line as a podcast that will only be available for a short time and features the rough draft drawn logo that soon will be updated to look less like it was drawn by a 3-year-old. That's linemerch.com. This episode is brought to you by the amazing people on patreon.com/calltheline, where you can get the show ad-free and you get the extended episodes where we do bonus shows, which is most of the time. Head over to patreon.com/calltheline and sign up today. Would you like to be one of the cool people who can prove...
What'd you say?
I like put the microphone in my mouth and I said that's gonna get clipped.
Your audio gets so good when you actually put it close, like up against your mouth.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we got to get
real
both of
nice.
you the
That's how
articulating
microphones-
arms, except we don't have a way to mail one to promise. But we got to get you one.
Don't be rude.
Mics are supposed to be pretty close to your mouth.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, you just had to tell me. I'll be close to.
If you like, I put the whisper mic cover on this one because they come with like a small one. I put the whisper one so I could literally like touch it with my lips.
Wow.
Sometimes my beard does a Velcro thing.
Wow.
I'll be eventually moving into whatever apartment we were able to buy, and then I will have like a whole little studio set up, and it'll be great.
That'll be adorable.
That'll be so great.
It'll be so cute.
Wonderful. Andrew Cuomo. Here's the thing I want to know.
I hate
Did
that
he
word.
win? Did Zoran? What's that?
Cuomo. It's like almost fun to say, but it's just not.
But it's just not.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, and then you think about like his father running for mayor against Ed Koch back in the day, and the fact that he used it to go vote for Cuomo, not the homo. You know, there was that shit.
I don't
from
think
the
I
past.
knew that.
I didn't know.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I had
It
good
was one of those
instincts
things
then.
where it was understood the campaign approved of it, but they didn't technically put it out themselves. But they were fully for using, just in the same way that this time the campaign would keep using like stock footage of is it Zoran? Is that how you pronounce
Zoran.
it? Mamdani.
Yeah, Mamdani.
They would use stock footage of him looking more Muslim than the fact that, I mean, usually he's walking around in a suit.
Yeah.
He's usually walking around not even being visibly Muslim. But they would try to make sure that they were mostly using like, he's just wrong for New York. He's wrong for blah, blah, well, he's wearing some kind of traditional Muslim garb kind of stuff. And it's like, we know what you're doing. You fucking like, and I give a shit if he's actually Muslim as long as he has the progressive views that I give a fuck about.
Right.
Like
which
I
he
don't.
does.
Right. Anything you're worried about Muslims being, progressivism is counter to, and he's literally like in that camp. So anybody that a radical Muslim would murder essentially is all right in my book.
What I think has been, well, first of all, since this has been announced last night, was that only last night or was that the night before?
I think the concession was announced 2 nights ago.
Okay.
Because I think I messaged you, not last night, but the night before, being like, bro.
You were just like, moron. And I was like, I know, I can't believe it. When, like, since that's been announced, the amount of racist tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. What's her name? Taylor Greene. You need to see.
Lord.
You need to see. You need to see what this
I've seen it. You're talking about the Statue of Liberty one?
Yes. It is like, okay.
They just love their AI. We're going to have to describe it anyway because people listen to the podcast.
Describe it to me.
So it is a picture of the Statue of Liberty with her arm down, covered in a burqa.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And she said, this hits hard. Why the fuck would that hit hard?
They know nothing about him besides him being Muslim. So he must be for radical versions of Sharia law in America when he is in no way in favor of any of that kind of stuff.
Meanwhile, she's literally a Christian nationalist. What the fuck are these people on?
It's bad.
Yeah. Though clearly has not actually followed any of the chastity laws in the Bible herself, considering how her marriage ended and
but
her
Christian
having her little
nationalism,
affair with her gym guy.
Right. It's all rules for thee, not for me, for their shit.
I've assumed that was a great point that will make it through clear and didn't break out in the final recording. Well
done. It was great. Everyone's going to love it.
The pursed lips that you froze on. You look like a model.
There also is a call to action from the New York Young Republican Club to...
I like that you almost called them Rumpelkins.
Right.
Looks like Rumpelkins.
The Rumpelstiltskins.
The young Rumpels.
To Austin. That. They want to try and deport him, which is crazy. And also, he's been a citizen since 2018, so he cannot be deported.
Right.
But like...
You had Laura Loomer tweeting, why isn't there a law against foreigners holding office? And it's literally like, well, first of all, there is for the president, which arguably is still kind of racist, but why would there be? Can you be a citizen of New York?
Right.
Then you should be able to be represented by, and the funny thing is there are other people just being blatantly racist, but they will use their cover. Let me find this one. They will use the cover of whatever their identity is to try and make it okay. You know what I mean? So let me go find, because I'd seen Austin replied to somebody. So a person wrote, and by the way, this is a person without a profile picture, so it's probably not even really, but as a Jew, the prospect of Mamdani being mayor scares me. If you as a Jew feel differently, that's your right. But don't ever, ever tell me that I'm overreacting or trivialize my feelings, because it is the height of hypocrisy. The Democratic Party is supposed to be the party of inclusivity, and right now I don't feel very included. Inclusivity does not mean I only feel included if you exclude others. How do you not understand the irony of your own thing of saying, I'm being excluded by allowing a Muslim progressive democratic socialist to be included?
Because then a Muslim can say the same thing if they elect somebody that's not Muslim.
Well, his the way that he's handled questions about Israel and Palestine and the Jewish community has not satisfied the Jewish community in New York. I've seen a lot of posts of people who are Jewish New Yorkers who find him to be either anti-Semitic or which there's no he's not anti-Semitic. Point blank, he's not. He is just not pro-Israel. And so he's
spoken out a lot against anti-Semitism and has ideas for how he would address it in New York, that there is, and has acknowledged a rise of anti-Semitism. But yes, he does not think we should genocide Gaza. That's his big thing.
Right. Yes,
which, guess what? Here I am, not a Muslim, and I agree.
Right. There was even there was a debate of all of the Democratic what's it called? Candidates. And the question for them was, what would be the first place you would travel to if you are elected? And all of them said Israel. All of them except for Mamdani. He said, I would stay in New York because I'm the mayor of New York. Like, I would stay in New York where he was on the mayor of here. Why would I travel to a different country? And then whoever, weird. I don't remember I wish I knew what network it was on, but whoever was hosting it at that time was like, so just to be clear, you wouldn't want to go to Israel? And he's like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I'm the mayor of New York. So my job is to control what's going on in New York. So why would I go?
Did you guys...
I love that their media brigade against him.
Oh my God, it's
same
insane.
sort of shit they used to pull on Bernie. Like, I love that it's failed.
Well, Bernie was just on Rogan. I don't know if you guys saw. I only saw clips, but Bernie was talking about AIPAC and the super PACs that are all of these Democratic and Republican alike politicians are bought and sold by these super PACs to just like lick Israel's butt. And it's so refreshing to see somebody that possibly at least isn't bought by AIPAC right now, you know,
I don't think he had AIPAC
fucking Ted
support.
Cruz on Carlson.
Oh, that was incredible.
Definitely Zoran and Bernie don't have AIPAC support. But yeah, Ted Cruz talking about, no, they don't. You know, AIPAC doesn't really even lobby for Israel. Like,
that was
crazy.
You think everyone's redacted because you've been around Trump so much? Like, that's where you're at right now. You are a fucking
the way
redacted
he tried
piece
to
of
dance around that was
very
incredible to watch.
The whole inclusivity thing, though, reminded me of my brother years ago when gay marriage was passing. So we're talking 2014, like 11 years ago.
10 years ago to the day, actually. Oh. Well, yesterday. I don't know what the time difference because I
thought it was 2014, not 2015.
No,
the Supreme Court
10 years. I just
Obergefell.
I think I just saw
it's
today.
It's 10 years.
Yeah.
On the 26th was 10 years. June 26th was 10 years.
Let's see. You're right. Yeah, June 26th, which is what the date is here. I don't know what the date is in your
like my
nonsense place.
My mature reaction to you saying that I was right about something.
No, I didn't see what you said.
I said, nah.
I didn't hear it. Anyway, so 10 years ago, my brother was complaining about, dude, you literally are a Mormon. Like, religious freedom is something you depend on. He's like, but this disrespects my religious freedom because my religious view is that I, as a religious right, should have the right to live in a country without gay marriage.
No.
And so he's literally like, it's that shallow level of like, okay, what if I have the religious view that I want to live in a country without Mormons? Is that now being disrespected? And you know what? It doesn't sound like a bad country.
Right.
Anyway, how is that over in Finland? Because I don't think there's a lot of Mormons in Finland. You seen a single one on their bicycles out there?
Not yet.
How many Mormons in Finland? They're biking around. I finally watched the movie Heretic. Y'all seen that?
Yes. It was disappointing to me.
Today.
I wanted the first half to be the rest of it as well. And then it just got like annoying.
I'm not going to say who dies, but the person who died, I thought that was disappointing. And then the first one, well, kind of. Anyway.
I wanted to watch this. Should I watch it?
If you are an ex-Mormon, though, I feel like that movie probably gets bumped 2 or 3 points because the two main girls, Sophie Thatcher, and I can't remember the other actress's
Chloe
name.
East.
They actually both grew up in the church. So they're nailing so many things, mannerism wise, like just the way it's a very, very believable performance.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And so they do get so many things like super right on the whole thing. And I liked that a lot. There are 5,000 members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Finland.
Wow.
That's pathetic.
There's also only 5.5 million people total in all of Finland. So.
Sure. But how many people do you think in total live in Austin, Texas?
Oh, in Austin? I don't know. Is it around 5 million?
No, it's about 1 million.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Okay, but let's do Austin plus suburbs. Let's do greater Austin. Austin greater. And do like the big number. So about 2.5 million is greater Austin. Let's see. Oh, all right. Never mind. I thought this number was going to be just the one. I think they estimate, the church's estimates are the Austin area has about 32,000 members.
Oh,
So
wow.
roughly
Okay.
the same population, 32,000 versus. But Finland's also like what, a majority atheist country, isn't it?
Well, it's interestingly enough, they have a state church, which is Lutheran
Right.
church, that most people belong to. But then when you ask people, most of them don't believe. Like they'll even attend church and be part of the traditions and all of that, but they don't actually really believe. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's very secular.
I agree. Yep. I agree. In case she's still talking while it's going, yes.
Of course, it cut out the one.
Is your
time I
Wi-Fi
get
back?
to say something. Yeah, now it's back. Here I am, everybody.
Excellent.
Wait,
It's been working perfectly for weeks, and now tonight, for some reason, it's
For
not.
streaming and stuff, though, or
working.
just like
Yes,
like
for everything,
Zooming? You not been
Yeah.
popping in and out?
all the things.
All
So
right,
I don't
well,
know. That's because I'm using Starlink, so we can blame Elon.
Only 40% identify as not believing in God in Finland, but that's still pretty good.
that is,
Yeah,
that's very
probably
cool.
most of
Anymore.
them just don't care. Nobody here cares about it.
That's nice.
Right. And they're not going to control or be shitty to you if you don't believe. Or
No,
even
not
really
at
want
all.
to talk. It seems like it's like they don't even want to talk about it that much. Like if you don't
They
believe,
think
they don't
that it's
have to have.
weird what I do. Like when I try to tell people here what I do, they laugh. They're like, "What do you mean you're in activism about like atheism?" They don't. It's
Well,
funny
that's
to
mean
them.
of them. Also, that's
Well,
weird
Finns
that
can be really mean because they're like bluntly honest. So
it doesn't make sense to me though. Like, okay, you clearly do understand. Like, listen, I understand America isn't the rest of the world, but we shove cultural awareness of America down your throats. So it's a little bit dumb. I get if they want to make the joke of like, oh yeah, you would need that. That's weird. We remember that's fun. We don't think about. But to act like it's like, why would you need to be that? You fucking fully know what we're literally like raising up a new Christian nationalist movement. You've never heard of it? Get the fuck out of here. We export some of our bigotry to your places.
I also have a lot of Finnish people. I'm sure like the algorithm has helped me find them that follow me that are really grateful for what I do because they have some very like evangelical culty things happening here now. And they also have this like
Sure.
Lestadian cult and stuff. So there are people that get it. I think it's just some of the
Little racism problem. A little racism problems and all of those.
everybody here is the whitest thing I've ever seen in my life. So
Yeah.
that's not
They're just
helping
like-
them at all.
We sneak around in the snow. We can't have that messed up by people coming in here. Like,
We sneak around.
they'll
the
give away our
stuff.
position.
Insane.
I don't know. It's all.
What else do we
I
want
don't
to
know.
talk
Who's got
about?
a did you see?
I don't know. Let me look. It's hard
Did
to
you
even.
guys see that I use an outhouse now for the whole summer?
Sure
Yes, you won't
do.
stop sending us videos of you using the house, the
I
wow house. Of
actually
course, we've
should-
seen it.
I should send you guys a video. Like I should make a like day in my life video for you guys just because Jimmy would lose his mind. I think you would be like,
Just from the sanitary side, like I'm fine with. I like the idea of being out in nowhere. I love all these, but you literally tried to, before the show started, gaslight me into thinking outhouses are somehow more sanitary because you're
Or,
effectively like
Jimmy,
using them as a kitty litter.
it
You basically
telling you,
have
it
adult
is
kitty
more
litter.
sanitary than
Jimmy.
any public restroom or hotel bathroom I have ever used.
I do, but
Jimmy,
but
is
what you're
it possible-
describing
is
is
it possible? Hold on. Is it possible that this is something that Promise knows more than you about?
I have used outhouses many times in my life. What are you talking about?
Oh no!
How many times? How many times?
Literally, are you joking? I grew up in the fucking Boy Scouts. That's what you have to
Okay,
do
but
in half of your
Boy
campouts
Scouts
is using
versus- Okay,
outhouses.
Boy
and-
Scout outhouses sounds disgusting.
That's different.
Oh, so what you're saying is inherently an outhouse isn't inherently cleaner than a regular bathroom,
Right,
and it has to do with
this
the people.
one.
That's crazy.
This
That's
one.
almost like what my point was an hour ago.
I'm
But that's
too
the same thing with
tired
a
to
regular
debate
bathroom.
this today. I'm too tired to debate this today because Jimmy finds it to be literally physically impossible to be wrong when he has decided
Listen,
he
people,
is right about
here's
something.
Here's what I know. Here's what I know what happens. People,
I missed you
when
guys.
they try to go like, oh my God, maybe she would know more. Argument from authority, by the way. Oh my God, maybe she would know more. And then when I express why that's crazy town, and then you're literally anecdotal evidence. An outhouse she uses is cleaner.
Her own outhouse. She's not talking. She didn't. At no point does she say every single outhouse is more sanitary. You made that assumption.
I like when the point fell apart. It was like, actually, I don't have the energy to debate this.
I don't, because this is stupid. And sometimes you get so stubborn.
You're the one who poked it. Oh my God, you debate for a living. I think it is crazy for anyone who debates for a living to tell somebody else they get so stubborn. Like, homie, I pay you to do the same thing. Good
but
Lord.
When I do it, it's about human rights. Not about
it's not about toilets.
Takes a shit.
It's not about toilets. It's not about I never argued that her outhouse isn't more sanitary. I argue that the concept that outhouses are more sanitary is crazy.
Exhausting. I genuinely think that Jimmy and I, in a different life, were siblings. Like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. We were siblings in a different life.
Or you were like emperors in opposing kingdoms.
I can see into alternate universes sometime, and I think we're actually married in one, and right now we're like laying in bed next to each other.
Where divorce is like not socially appropriate.
No. Too stubborn to divorce. I think that's our types of stubbornness. I think that like it'd be like, I'm not gonna admit you fucking got under my skin, but I think we're like both on iPads in bed right now scrolling, and like one of us will just like let out a little like clear their throat, and the other will look over like, shut the fuck up. And then go back to scrolling. I'm just like
the kid that's awkwardly like, can somebody make me breakfast, please?
Oh my God. Truly.
I don't like the idea that you are my child in any fucking...
so I vote
we've said some weird shit on this podcast.
I vote that I get the final say on the outhouse thing, so I'm going to just make my piece real quick. I think like any bathroom, it's who keeps up with it. I think outhouses can be just as sanitary and sometimes much more sanitary than most public restrooms. And this one specifically is very cute, and it has pictures of or drawings of little birds all over, and it has a little curtain and a little heart. And that's
here's what Perplexity said.
Also it's quiet and it's private and it's away from everybody, and you don't have to worry about a toilet getting, what am I thinking? What's the word when it gets clogged? Yeah. No toilets getting clogged.
Yeah, it's easy. When you have your own toilet, it's really easy not to get your toilet clogged.
Actually, I think since the last time we talked, I'm changing the topic because I'm so tired of talking about toilets.
Good. Do it.
I'm going to bring it back to how I prefer poop being taken miles away, but go on.
Okay. The last time we talked was when, I think it was right when we had bombed Iran, but we hadn't talked about the ceasefire.
Right, that Trump was so proud of, and then Israel was like, JK.
Literally, they were like, let's fucking go, boys. And then here we are.
All right, you're right. We can move on after I mentioned Perplexity is on my side. Okay, moving on. You know what this reminds me of? Who was I debating with the other day?
Literally anyone that's come across your desk.
Okay.
Did you go to the grocery store? Probably the person who works there.
Hey, I think today was payday, and remind me why like, who the fuck do you think you are here? But this is the funny thing is,
it's literally
people.
The reason is because I'm doing this with you.
People also will just not side with me from our audience, period. And the funny thing happened on Sunday. Jovan and I argued about whether or not water was wet, and he takes the position that it is wet.
No.
And I proved basically to be objectively true, and you should have seen the defeat, not from him, from the audience, who was super mad they had to agree with me. Because like I actually proved my side. And there's literally like people I really hate agreeing with Jimmy. And what's funny is before I proved my side, everybody in the thing was like, Jimmy's actually wrong on this one. And one person was like, I'm a chemistry major. Jimmy, you're wrong on this one.
Wait, sorry, you were arguing that water is wet?
No, it's not wet.
It's not wet. Okay.
It's not wet. It feels
wetness
wet.
Describes the quality of a solid being adhesively bonded to a liquid.
Oh. okay.
Forming an adhesive bond versus a cohesive bond, which is what water forms with itself, liquids fills with itself. So literally water can't be wet because there's no solid present. Ice, solid water can be wet if there's also liquid water, but liquid water cannot be wet. And his whole thing was like, yeah, but water molecules are against other water molecules. So it just means having water molecules. Anyway, he was wrong and I was right. But the funny thing wasn't that, it was that how mad people in the audience were like, well, I'm just going to take the side against Jimmy. And they were so devastated for me to win. It was very funny. Loved it.
Well,
and that's how I feel. Alyssa is lashing out right now because I won. Okay.
We'll do couples therapy next episode. But now let's get to today's news.
We're just sitting there.
Wait, Trump doing something stupid.
Wait, actually, yes. We didn't talk about the ceasefire. So it was Trump who first said that there was a ceasefire, and then wasn't it Israel who also agreed, and then but Iran never agreed or made a statement about a ceasefire, and then all of a sudden Israel dropped bombs anyway.
I don't even know if there was a real ceasefire or if there was a tweet that was like, nobody do anything, it's over now.
It was I think the tweet was
very unclear what actually went down.
I think the tweet was, if I had to guess / from my memory, I would assume it was something like, we did it, guys. Best bombing ever. We were so successful, and now we have peace because there's a ceasefire. And who did it? The greatest president ever. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he announced a complete and total ceasefire shortly after.
And then he was cursing the next day.
Right, yeah.
Mediated by the U.S. and Qatar. Right, now we get to say, look, okay, here's the thing. I will not give Trump credit for almost anything except in his first term, we did expand being able to say shit on TV, and it seems like we're closing in on fuck now.
They played
I
it
like
on
that.
Good Morning America or something like that. They're like, this is
Did they give a warning?
Crazy.
Yes, they did. And they're like, we don't usually play this sort of
but
of
it's
all
a
things
president as well.
Of all things to care about. I'm
That
sorry,
matters.
I don't think it matters for
I'm
shit.
happy we're getting fucks out,
Yeah.
I'll let that be his legacy. Terrible president, Mr. New Nazi. I was going to say newsy, but that's a thing that I love. He's not a newsy. New Nazi does not equal a newsy. Anyway, but he got our curse words out.
Yeah, well, that's the only way he's ever been progressive. So, I don't know.
Has it been readopted?
Has been what? Readopted?
The fuck?
After Israel violated it.
Oh,
the ceasefire.
Yeah.
I assume no, because the next day, Trump's response, I think
they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, they don't know. We have two countries who don't know what the fuck they're doing. I was like, you sound like my dad when he drops a spoon and he's rushing around, or it felt like the reaction you have when you you have a bag on your shoulder and you walk past a door handle and it pulls. That pure frustration. But in his case, he's the president of the United States and talking to the press. So that's a different thing than me screaming in my room. So I don't know.
I wonder if he ever does goes up to Melania. You ever see a child do stream of consciousness storytelling?
Yeah.
And then I saw a bear in the woods and I wrote it and I put a saddle on. I can imagine him doing that. Melania, I had such an interesting day. I went to the golf course and I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but the peanut butter was oily. And so they brought me a new peanut butter. And I could literally do that for a year.
100%.
Meanwhile, she's just proud of him for remembering some things that day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. And by the way, he actually hasn't. He tells the exact same story every day, but he doesn't realize it's not the same story because that dude is crazy. The dementia's setting in.
Okay.
And now Trump's super mad at CNN for reporting that it wasn't that effective of a strike, that he broadcasted for too long and they basically had weeks to relocate anything important. So it wasn't that good.
But that's the truth. What could he even say in response to that?
Yeah.
What could you even say?
Because it turns out, we talked about this, how it didn't even look like the sites were that bombed, but that could be the type of bomb that it's made to go in and explode. But it turns out, those were the types of bombs they dropped. They didn't really explode much good stuff. And so now he's just like, CNN, they are
That's
the
a
worst.
great
They're never
sentence.
going to get an Emmy like me.
They didn't
He
explode.
also never got an Emmy.
What did you say? They didn't explode many great stuff or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a good sentence.
They didn't explode many good things, frankly.
Well,
Frankly.
okay, so in kind of bummer news, we now have a second person who passed away in ICE custody, and they are a Canadian resident. So I'm curious to see what will come of that. They were 49.
Yeah, but what color is their skin? Because that's
I'm sure going to be important. I'm just
Yeah.
curious what statement we're going to get from Canada.
I think they'll be
They're
like,
already
hey, no,
pissed.
don't do that though. But, we're not really going to do much because we've kind of capitulated to that guy though.
The guy.
It's not very Minnesota.
Well,
Yeah, that's like
kind of the
basically
same.
America, Canada though.
Yeah.
Fucking, have you been there, bud? It's fucking the
Yeah, I
same
was
place.
Just there like 2 months ago.
It's not different.
okay, the man who passed away was 49 years old, and they actually are not sure what it was exactly. They found him unresponsive, and this is the second person. The first is a woman who was pregnant. She was like 5 weeks pregnant, I think. And she had been requesting prenatal vitamins. She had been requesting more food. She was telling them that she didn't feel well. And they were not giving her any assistance. And so she also passed away in ICE custody, which again, this is a person who is pregnant. So it is not a pro-life situation, clearly. You didn't care about that baby specifically. And you also didn't care about the person who was carrying them. So I mean, we're going to just keep saying that till we're blue in the face because it doesn't matter. But now we've had 2 people pass away in ICE custody. They also, I'm not sure how exactly they audited this, but I was seeing it coming around that of the 59,000 people who are in ICE custody, about half of them are confirmed to not have criminal records.
But thank goodness trans people can't identify with their birth certificate. What are the things? Oh, it was so worth it. Donald Trump, because now trans people,
Unbelievable.
we did it, guys.
They stand for
We
nothing.
fucking did it.
They stand for fucking nothing. They really do. They stand for whiteness, and that's it. And whiteness is like the most boring culture. Anything that like whiteness creates is just emulating from other cultures a lot of the time. It's just embrace where you're boring.
As a joke, Luxandra the other day was like, "What is white culture? Like macaroni and cheese?"
No.
And that's when I dropped the bomb of like, actually, American macaroni and cheese was literally developed by Jefferson's slave chef.
Right.
So kinda.
So we stole
the
that
slavery
too.
part. That was white culture.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
we have Jefferson, the white slave owner, to thank for the mac and cheese happening because he did make a slave make it. That's pretty much white culture.
Right.
There you go. Nailed it.
Right.
Nailed it.
But like, and really the whole purpose of recognizing that too is to acknowledge that we all unless you are native, we all immigrated at some point in our lifetimes or in our generations immigrated here. So we are all immigrants, we are descendants from immigrants, and that's where a lot of our culture comes from, or it's from situations like that, which is horrific. I don't know. I don't know. New horrors every day. That's all I have to say. New horrors every day. 2 people.
It is funny though that now Congress, Jasmine Crockett is launching like a little investigation into how Melania was able to get her visa.
Oh,
Because she had an extraordinary ability visa, but was only working as a model.
That's what Yuka has, because that's actually the extraordinary thing is basically for entertainment industry stuff. That is, or there can be other things, but that's what my husband has in the US.
Yeah, but he's like a music producer. I'm not trying to shit on models, but some of them I am.
Well,
I think there's so many things to shit on her for, but maybe I don't feel like that. I feel like
modeling.
I wish she would go back to modeling.
Be qualified in the extraordinary.
Yeah, if you have made a career out of it. So basically, like my husband was able to get that because he had such a successful career doing it over here, and he had to bring in his Grammys and stuff to show like I'm successful at this. And it's one of the most difficult what do you call it? Visas to get.
Is his an EB-1 though? The Einstein visa?
I have no idea.
So hers was an EB-1, also called the Einstein, which is reserved for individuals with sustained national or international acclaim. And basically they often go to people like Olympic medalists, Nobel Peace Prize winners, Pulitzers.
Yeah, that's what he has.
Yeah, prize winners. I think they're saying like she doesn't have a single accolade. You're saying your husband had Grammys. She didn't have a single accolade, no international or national.
Did she have like magazine
acclaim.
covers and stuff? Because they'll let that qualify.
Probably.
That might be how.
Yeah.
I like that there's an investigation around it just so that people remember that she is also an immigrant.
That's what's important to remember here.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that we have a category for models, but not people who literally do labor for us.
Right.
Like,
that's absolutely absurd.
Right.
Yeah. Well, guys, she's professionally hot. She is
that's
important.
Hot. Modeling is also like, I understand the parts of modeling that are challenging and that make it like truly something that not everyone can do, even if you are just like hot. However, when your husband has decided to take down the integrity of an entire country that is built on the back of immigrants and do so in a way where people are literally dying, and it's horrifying, and it is people are referring to it it being in reference to Nazi Germany, and you yourself are an immigrant, then we get to talk about your immigration status.
I'm also not going to hear from any Republican anything that I should be respecting about the hard work of modeling when I see the way they treat sex workers. Like, fuck off. Like, I give a shit what your opinion is, based on the way you guys talk about people who do OnlyFans or any other kind of stuff. And frankly, if this was a model of another party, you wouldn't be saying any of that shit. Modeling certainly also has categories within. So Melania is in the hardworking category. I used to work with models for a living, though, and they're not all, just saying universally, like, I know that being a model requires a lot of hard work. It depends on the category of model. And she was definitely in that category. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it doesn't. It's not a universal.
When she wore that jacket that said, "I really don't care," do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Was that when everything was going on with immigration stuff, or was that the Syrian refugees?
That was the kids in cages.
I can't remember. Oh, right. That's what she didn't got it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Wonderful.
It was either that or the that hurricane that fucked everything up. I think they were both around the same time, actually. Let's see. It was during her trip to a migrant detention center in McAllen, Texas. Child migrants. So it was where all the children were being kept in cages. And yeah, I really don't care, do you, and it wasn't even spelled right.
So fucking insane.
You, the letter U. Talk about disrespectful. That's 2008 text lingo. What are we doing, people?
Wait, okay. In the interest of time.
I already hit the button. It's not your fault.
Oh, are we going to do bonus?
Go ahead. No, no, this is the ad break. I guess, should we do that?
Yeah,
should we call it there? Because if we want to promise on the bonus show.
Yeah,
I can go to the bonus show. Come hang out, everybody, on the bonus show.
We're switching this to the outro. Which sounds very, very similar.
What
were you going to say?
Enjoyed the debate about outhouses.
I enjoyed it because I won.
Yes, you did. You get.
I know. You don't have to tell me. I got it.
No, you won.
You will never issue me any compliment greater than I have already issued myself.
One thing
I believe that her outhouse is very clean. It's not cleaner than my bathroom, but it's very clean. Alyssa, you had last words?
No, certainly not. Because I don't think you'll like them if I do.
She says I'm stubborn. Look how mad she is. I'd rather be stubborn.
I'm an Italian
than angry.
woman. What do you want from me?
Say it. Say it. Say it. I need
Bye,
this thing.
everybody.
Oh, goodbye.
Bye.
Sorry.